really, really hard. We practiced really, really well this week. Not that we don't practice hard. We do. I thought, especially the 2 days we were in pads, went at it pretty good, and it's hard to win. The bottom line is it's really, really hard to win. I think especially for us playing in a major conference. I mean, that's why you got to do everything. You got to dot every I, cross every T, and scrap and compete the whole bit. And sometimes you don't, and sometimes you do. And we definitely earn it whenever it does happen.
Tell us about the push you guys got up front on the line. Because it seemed like, I mean, from the opening drive, you were able to chew a lot of clock, move the sticks. You know, that, I assume that all starts with the line.
It does. Those guys being able to wear pads both days and go at it, I think certainly helps. And I thought we got some hard interior yards, which we're going to need going forward though too.
Can you tell us about the way you use the quarterbacks? Was that a planned strategy to bring Ben Britton in for one play, or was that
No, it was not. It's Zeke had to run into the locker room for a minute, and we had the ball right there, so we just kind of felt like there was a coverage opportunity. Maybe still got to win a one-on-one, and we did.
The ball he threw was on the money? I mean, when you knew you had that personnel, did that factor into the play call, or would you have called that with any quarterback?
I don't know. That's a good question. I do think Benny delivers a really, really good ball, and it was neat that him and Jensen both were involved a good bit tonight.
Well, that was the other one. Then you brought in Jensen mid-drive for one play, brought Zeke back out. Can you just, because I don't see that very often from you.
I know, I usually don't. We just, I think we can do that here. I know it goes against any book that's out there. Golly, if somebody else can move a point guard or somebody else can go at short side, I think we're lucky in football where you don't have to cross that guy off the lineup card like you would in baseball.
And when you say Zeke had run into the locker room, and add any more to it,
No, I won't, no sir.
All right, and then Brad Roberts, I mean, his consistency is what usually stands out about him. I think he's tied for third now in program history with 100-yard games. Does that show you consistency? What does that show you about him?
Yeah, you answered that question. I mean, just day in, day out, really a hard worker. He does everything he can as far as take care of your body, which you have to, I think, for the amount of pounding that's involved. And it helps so that there are other guys at that position too, between Emmanuel Michel, Omar Fatah. That's a shared experience. And I think Brad would be pretty overt in terms of the appreciation that he has where he doesn't have to do it all, and he doesn't. And nobody can. That's not realistic for any football player or a human being too.
And at cornerback, he started Bellamy, but then Stangway did play. You just tell, what is going on at that position, I guess, right now in terms of personnel battles or how
we got battles everywhere. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily just, it's I just don't think you have to be held to only playing 11 guys on each side of the ball. I mean, if Rambus is a starter, that starting five stays out there the whole time, if Michael Cooper can help too, you do it. Or if Hondo is number 16 can get in there as a sixth man for the Celtics, then get him in there and let's do it. You can play more than 11. At least we want to.
And Corey Collins played in the game, I believe.
He did.
So was he not on the team and now back on the team?
He did, yeah. He had something he had to get taken care of. He just wanted to make sure he got off to a good start at school. And the thing that was weighing on him specifically included physics. And I'd probably take, I don't know if that's mass or force or what it is, but I can empathize to no end with a guy that thinks physics might be overwhelming.
How is this happening for you, and how gratifying is it?
It's nice, especially because we're gonna win this time. I mean, coaches is calling my number. We're seeing things on the field and knowing that we can take advantage of it, and we did.
And tell me about that play, because you switched quarterbacks for one play. Did you know that was in the works, or was that just a spur of the moment thing?
Well, I saw Zeke go down and Ben went up, and we worked that play with different quarterbacks all week, so it really wasn't a change of heartbeat. And we went out there and we executed, and it actually worked out pretty well.
And to catch a ball in the open field like that, at home and everything else, tell me what that feels like.
It was nice to show my speed a little bit. it was fun.
And, I mean, obviously you want that. Is this gonna be something we see more out of you now? Now that you've done it a few times, do you feel like now, I don't know, we've seen it before. Brandon Lewis last year got a few and then suddenly it was a regular thing. Like, do you sense that that's coming now?
I mean, we got a lot of guys that we can call on. We're just gonna keep working, keep establishing the run, and when my number gets called on, I'll be there to make that play.
And as a senior now, fast forwarding to next week, having Navy come in and starting that series, one that since you've been here, Air Force hasn't won. How important is that to you?
Yeah, we'll enjoy the win tonight, and then tomorrow get to Navy. Do everything that we need to do throughout the week to ensure that we can come out with a win on the end next Saturday.
Is that one where if you left without that, is that a hole that you leave with?
You can't think about that now. Right now, I'm just trying to win the day. Do what we can do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Feel prepared going into Saturday, and hopefully we execute and do what we need to do.
And John Lee, another.
Yes, I appreciate it.
You said the first week you wanted to have your best week every week.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like you've done that?
With my performance, yes, sir, I think I've been doing a pretty good job, but I'm never satisfied there. It can always get better.
What's your comfort level now compared to that first week when you first kind of started touching the ball a lot? How has that progressed?
I feel like the game has slowed down a lot for me. Great plays 100 times during the week, and going out there just feels like practice, honestly.
And how important was this, for the team, for the offense, after last week to come out here and put on, one of these kind of vintage Air Force?
We try to take every game week by week, and after the loss last week to Wyoming, I feel like it was big to get everyone together, get everything going the way it should be. We know that we're a great team, and tonight we went out there and showed it.
And how about for you? I know you guys just enjoyed this, but I won't get to talk to you again before Navy. Like, for you going into a Service Academy game, probably going to be a huge crowd here. Like, what, for someone who's only played 4 real full games, what's that excitement level going to be like for you?
Going into every game, I try to tune out the crowd. I feel like if I focus on the game just as if it was practice, we'll go out there and we'll accomplish everything we need to, just as if it was practice.
And what do you think you bring, especially in that game when yards are so tough to come by, because of your balance and, shiftiness, I guess, and strength, like, do you feel like that's a new element that Air Force maybe hasn't shown maybe in a few years?
Yes, sir. I feel like every Service Academy game is a bruiser, and I feel like we're going to have to run behind our pads next week. As I've shown so far, I feel like I'm going to go ahead and go into that game doing the same thing.
How does this feel, to come back out after that and have this kind of performance?
It feels great. We came out, we executed, we did what we needed to do, and we played a lot better.
How much did you need this, after that?
Yeah, we needed it. We practiced hard. We had a little more verve during practice, and I think that showed.
And the offense kept the ball for 9 minutes on its first possession. And I think overall time of possession was something crazy, like 46 minutes or something like that. How nice is that as a defensive player when, the offense is holding the ball for so long?
Yeah, it's super nice. We get a chance to keep our legs fresh. We get a chance to sit down and talk through some things and make adjustments if we need to, and get ready for the next drive.
And was there any impact whatsoever in which quarterback they ended up going with, Cox? Was there any kind of difference in the game plans?
No, not really. We didn't. There wasn't a whole lot of difference. We came out ready, prepared for anything.
And I know you've been so focused on Nevada. I do want to ask you, your first college experience was out here against Navy, right?
Yes, sir.
How different is this going to be now that you've got all this experience and now they come back? Like, is it a completely different game for you now?
It is a little bit different. Again, coming in as a freshman and playing them, not knowing what to expect, wide-eyed, and now I kind of know what to expect, and it's going to be a lot more fun.
And how important is that series, the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy in general to you, and obviously the first leg, getting that, how key is that?
It's essential. It's something that we have to get done, and we're going to practice hard to do it.
Is that something, because your dad played here, did he mention those games at all? Like, is that something that he still talks about?
Yeah. The most physical games, the most fun. The atmosphere is great. The whole week leading up to it is a whole different dimension during practice. So.
And do you remember that, like the physicality of those games compared to the others? Is it a different notch?
Yes, it's definitely a different type of game. So.
And as defense as a whole, like, are you guys in a good position health-wise, do you feel, going into that now?
Yeah. No one's sick anymore, so it's a lot nicer.
For third most 100-yard games, you're only, I think, 2 behind, it was Bo Morgan and 1 behind Dean Dallas. That's getting to be some pretty elite company in Air Force history. Like, what's that mean to you?
It's a tremendous honor. I mean, obviously, all those guys were great players when they came through here, and just to be on the same kind of platform that they are, it's a tremendous honor.
And, was this one of those you could sense from the first drive, you guys ate 17 or 9 minutes, 17 plays, that you were going to be able to manipulate how you want to run the ball?
I'd say maybe a little bit in the first drive, but honestly, just the week that we had in practice, I mean, everybody was really angry about the loss that we had against Wyoming. We had one of our best weeks, I'd say, to date, just preparing for this team, and I think it showed today.
And how much did you need this to kind of flush that out of the system and get back on the track you're on?
I think we needed it. I mean, obviously our philosophy is like day by day, week by week. But I know that it was nice to just get a win, make sure that we were staying on track. Everybody was a little bit afraid, but I trust in our offensive line, our coaching staff, and everybody to make things like happen.
And now, turning the page to next week, so I probably won't talk to you again before Navy. How important is this to you? It's one of those things that the trophy has not been here for a while. How important would that be?
It's extremely important. Obviously, this is my last run along with a lot of the guys, and we haven't been able to bring it home, and Navy's our first step, so we're looking to take that one.
And you talk about physical games, especially up the middle, that's one of the most physical you have. What do you do different this week to prepare, or is there anything? You just go in like any other week?
I think maybe a little bit, but it's kind of just like any other week. Obviously, we have to have a great week of preparation like we had this week. Just making sure everybody's blocking assignments are correct, making sure that we're holding on to the ball, because we know every time we play any service academy, it comes down to a few mistakes.
But I do want to ask tonight, switching in the quarterbacks, for one play, was that something you had seen in practice, or did that kind of take everybody by surprise a little bit?
We rotate the quarterbacks a decent amount. We rotate the fullbacks, we rotate everybody. In practice, everybody's getting a ton of reps, so I wasn't too surprised. I know Ben Britton, he's got a lot of heart, and he can throw the ball, so I had full confidence in him.
Were you impressed with that ball? Did you see the replay, or were you on the field when it was thrown?
I don't think I was on the field. I was off the field, but I watched the ball, and it was a great ball. He really stepped up to the plate, and then David Cormier made a great catch and great run after the catch.